I get terrible vibes from this new moon. Basically what I do in choosing the chart for what I'm going to read, for that month, I try to pick one that's interesting, as I'm clicking through the days. It's like, oh, hi. And this, yeah, I didn't even realize, because I don't put too much, I don't get all crazy about which one it is. I just listen to my gut, and the one that makes me stop is the one that I do. And so the reason right away I was like, oh, is because what we have is a new moon in Pisces. So remember, a new moon is a sun-moon conjunction. Yeah, and that's it. And so they're right next to each other, and so there appears to be no moon at all. But there is, and usually this energy says new beginnings, new energies, new ushering in new things, a clean slate type energy, whereas a full moon is harvest, is accumulation, it's culmination, that kind of energy. And so it is here. But it's not always so simple. Just like the eclipses this last time were like backwards for me. And it seems to be playing out that way, as far as I can tell from private readings and feedback I've been getting in my own life. The one in Aquarius felt ominous, and the one in Leo felt good. And it was opposite of what it should have felt. And so there you go. And so with this one, what made me stop in my tracks is that, first of all, it's in Pisces and wrapping up Pisces season in order to start the new year, which would be shortly after this in Aries. And so in astrology, the new year starts with spring, which makes totally more sense, right? So we're wrapping up the winter of our soul in a spiritual way. And we're going to do so with a doozy. So think of this as like New Year's Eve, kind of, is the vibe of this chart. Like, revisiting what did not work. But why do we do that? Think about New Year's Eve, and we all come together, we celebrate this new year, we make resolutions. Why do we make resolutions? Because we're trying to be better. We're trying to not repeat mistakes that we've repeated in the past, and to make a declaration of positivity for the future, kind of, right? But the reason we do it is tradition, really. I mean, at the end of the day, but it's a cause of reflection of like, okay, God, I'm always late, and it has all of these repercussions in my life. I'm going to resolve to not be late anymore. I'm not going to be such a tardy animal the way I'm used to being. And we work on it. But really, does that do anything? No. But what I am referring to is that energy of this isn't working. Being late isn't working. Not because being late is rude. It's not that simple. It causes X, Y, and Z in my life. These are serious issues. It is affecting my life to the degree that I'm bringing it up, that it's a thing, okay? That's what this new moon's going to do. And the reason I know that is because it is dead conjunct Chiron. Now, I don't often pull on Chiron, but Chiron's an asteroid, and it's the wounded healer. And so the idea is wherever your deepest wounds are, number one is where your greatest gifts are. It's where you can help and heal others. I mean, a basic example would be someone who grew up in poverty and in the foster system grows up to be a social worker, to work for social, justice, that type of thing. So you turn your wound into something very positive. It doesn't mean that it was, wildly awesome to go through any of that, but ultimately, kind of. So that in a nutshell is Chiron. All of it. The process of going through poverty and the foster system in that example that pained you very deeply, is a serious stuff. This isn't somebody was mean to me. No, this is like lifelong shit that's planted early on. So anyway, that's what that asteroid is. And wherever you find Chiron in your chart is where you have the potential to be an amazing healer in that area of life, okay? So with transiting Chiron, right up on this new moon, number one is like, ugly. A new clean slate on all of our deepest emotional wounds. Yay! Because that's how it reads. Like, you're welcome. Spiritually, too, which is always, ugh. Unless you're a Pisces dominant, moon dominant person, even those people are not going to like it. But if you don't have a lot of water in your chart, like I don't, I look at it and I'm like, bleh. So it's not comfortable. Furthermore, Mars is squaring all of this. So we have Pisces, the most like fluid, foggy, can't put your finger on it, like energy of Chiron and Pisces and a moon in Pisces and the sun in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. It's all this like, very dreamy, very foggy. Like I'm even having trouble keeping up with my own thoughts. It's how it makes you feel. Not stupid. It's like, what is my problem? Why am I so, it's dreamy. Dreamy good, dreamy bad. Doesn't matter. It doesn't feel like you're grounded, right? So new moons usher in new energies. And the new energy with Mars over there in the final degree of Sagittarius. So he's got one last thing to say. Is squaring all of this, okay? So this is a potential for some very explosive energy on a very personal level. This isn't energy where it's like, oh God, I'm in my house burned down and like outside influences. It's not like that. It's a very triggering energy, to be honest. This is like somebody, let's take the foster system poverty example, and you're all grown up now and you're working in the foster system. You are owning your Chiron. You are, I'm healing others because I healed myself and I'm doing this thing. It doesn't mean that wound doesn't still exist as a scar at the very least. This would be like somebody walking in your house like a guest and going, you know what I think is total bullshit is the foster system and people who work in it. I just think it's stupid. And you're like, what? And depending on where this square is in your chart is going to dictate how that's going to play out. So we're all going to get this. Our wounds are going to get tickled with this new moon come in March. So even though this does not occur until March, what did I say? 17th? This is one to watch, okay? And one to prepare for. So, yeah, that's just how I feel about it. So we'll see. I could be wrong. Man, I remember a couple moons ago, I was like, ooh, this spells terrible relationship stuff. And people got really great readings. So who knows? So I'm thinking about where I want to pull next. I think I'm going to go counterclockwise, actually, because yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because okay, so for you guys, for the Gemini risings, you're going to get this new moon in your 10th house. So this is excellent. Now, this new beginning in career can speak to things opening up wounds within you. It's going to play out in career. Kind of. But be triggered by your relationship. So Mars is in your 7th house in Sagittarius, wrapping it up. For a lot of you, this can mean a segue into the 8th house. So that's other people's money, it's death, rebirth, regeneration, So there's lots of possibilities there. But this Mars over here in your 7th house is going to square over. It's a change of direction that's somehow going to affect your career. Okay, and I think that's even stronger as there's definitely some conversations happening. Definitely. And these are conversations that need to be had. And as a Gemini rising, because you guys are so much in your head, in your thoughts, you think everything through, this will, this conversation, whatever it is, it's definitely a conversation. Like, hi, an exchange. And, I wasn't focused, sorry. It's definitely an exchange because we have Venus and Mercury in Aries in your 11th house of your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Now, this conjunction is fine. I mean, it's not, well, it's a little debilitated because Venus is at fall here. She don't like it in there. It's all loud and aggressive and sporty and smelly and not her thing. So she's weak here. Your ruler, Mercury, there he is, you know, he's fine in Aries. Certainly better than he was in Pisces. But it's aggressive. This is aggressive communication to the weak female energy of Venus. So those are conjunct. That's happening. And it's squaring over. I'm going to go ahead and pull on that while I'm focused. Squared over to, or excuse me, trining over to Leo in your 3rd house of communication, which is your house. That's your natural house. A lot of words flying around from all directions, it looks like. Looks like we're getting an aggressive message to you, or about money, or both, or love. It can be equally good or bad. I think with it being in positive flow with your North Node down here, definitely says it's needed. You're supposed to be going through this. It feels hard. I'm sorry, it just does. Maybe I'll turn them all over and I'll be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong in those cases. Also, too, is Uranus over here in Aries. So this is sudden, unexpected energy over here in Aries, and he is not communicating with this Mercury-Venus situation. He is in positive flow, however, to Mars. So it's this weird aggression that's good for you. I can't imagine you're going to be real excited about that, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Like, if this is not an intense reading about a bunch of words flying around and decisions getting made and people criticize, like, that's what it feels like. It feels like work people getting in on it. It feels like a shit show from all sides, that you're going to have to talk a lot, be in the spotlight, and because that's what I've been feeling for you guys. So you're in a time where it's just time to be out there, and you would rather be on the computer researching things, and can't always do that, right? So if I remember right, you had strong qualities in your general last month about leadership and that kind of thing, which is what Leo's all about. It's making your words count. So what better way to make your words count than be inundated with words constantly? I can't think of a better way, but you know, why not? Jupiter in Scorpio, I don't think he's aspecting anybody. It's kind of sort of in positive flow with this new moon, but it's not strong. It's pretty wide. But he does magnify things in the 6th house, which is your day-to-day life. South Node is in Aquarius in your 9th house. See, I know y'all love to learn and study and learn and read and study and learn and all of that, but it's telling you, you can go back to that later. It's time to be out there right now. In your 3rd house in Leo. Okay, finally, in your 8th house. Ugh. Got all that Capricorn energy in there. You have Pluto. So I want to know for this month what exactly you're seeking to transform on a big, big level. That's his natural house right there, is the 8th house. And then, of course, what is Saturn teaching you for the month of March? Okay, I think we got everybody. Interestingly, too, before I even started or even really studied the chart to, for you, so there's a lot of outside energy coming at you. But I wasn't even thinking about it at the time, because the one I'm looking at, the horary chart, is a Aquarius rising. So it's not immediately evident until I, tune into it, which I don't do until I turn the camera on. So anyway, my whole point of that is that the deck I've chosen for you, which I don't think I've ever chosen this one for a Gemini rising, is the Gilded Tarot, because it's bold and whatever. But it's just funny I chose that, and now I'm seeing this is a borderline aggressive chart. I'm not going to lie. Okay, let's get to it. For the sun, what is being illuminated in March and kind of accumulating with this new moon? Oh, shit. Okay. Wow. Well, let's just start off amazing. Ace of Wands. Yay. So no matter how the rest of this reading comes out, you're going to be shining in the career sector. Moon. We have the Four of Swords reversed and the Chariot reversed. So you're waking up to something that you've been lagging on. This is like a jolt. Not a shock, it's more of a jolt, like, oh, I dropped the ball there. I need to wake up, is how you're feeling about it. Being more vigilant. Pisces, up here in the 10th house too, the full reversed. So you're going through some sort of spiritual mission in career. And I know that. I've been seeing that for you, but it's more, I just get the distinct feeling there's going to be a fire lit under your ass. And the full reverse is like with Neptune, I feel like it's saying it is not time yet to take a flying leap out of this job, out of this, because, okay, now I'm remembering your other reading was more, had the energy of, you didn't want to be there, but you need to be there. Is kind of how this reads. For Chiron, which is right up on this new moon, your wound, 9 of Swords. So that's anxiety, okay? That's 9 of Swords is real and perceived hurts. It's between the 8 and the 10. The 10 is balls out betrayal, right? And the 8 is your own mental prison. It's normally imagined things or fears and that kind of thing. 9's kind of in the middle. So it's churning within you things that actually have occurred, along with, anxiety about that, as well as anxiety for the future. And so with that being your indicator for Chiron, your deepest wound is something that caused you a great deal of anxiety at some point in your life. This is lying awake at night. It's obsession of your mind, if that makes sense. So something caused that at some point, and that is your wound. If you think of each of the swords in the 9 of Swords as this is a multiple wound, multiple things happening and multiple worries, at some point in your life. It's usually when we're young. So something about that, about that level of anxiety and how you've handled it until this point in your life is somehow directly proportionate to something that happens at work that's going to bring you a brand new beginning in a passionate way. This is you going, it feels crusade-y a little bit. Warrior-like. Whereas the Nine of Swords is ruminating energy. And so something at work happens that makes you go, oh, turns that thing on where you're going to want. It's going to bring up whatever that thing that made you so incredibly anxious way back when, so wounded, is going to come up in career. Okay. So let's look at the square over here to Mars. So what's going to come at you to bring this all up? 5 of Wands reversed. Interesting, because this is in your relationship sector. So this is the end of gossip, the end of fighting, the end of petty fighting. Why that would trigger anxiety, I don't know. That's weird. We'll definitely look at that. But you know, some people are like that. Like your comfort zone is more when there's, you know, drama and intrigue. Like stillness is anxiety inducing for some people, but I'm not getting that vibe here, but it's something like that. I don't have a hit just yet. Especially since it's in relationship. Like, why would that be? I don't know. But we will get to the bottom of it. That much I know. So in positive flow to this is over here, Jupiter in your 6th house. It's a trine. And so here we have the 3 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Wowzers. This is daily life. And so your home life's amazing at home and you're getting things that you want. 3 of Pentacles is learning, putting in the work to learn something new. So maybe you're learning a different way. But it brings you a lot of happiness. So something about not having petty fighting, gossip, and that crappy energy around you in your partnerships, putting that to rest. Another way that it could be that, because I did see relationship issues before, like putting those to rest gives you the energy to fight this fight up here in career is one possibility. And I hope that's what it is. I think that's great. I might have even said something like that, like it was helping you practice this issue, to do it in a safe place in your relationship, to have these issues, troubles, or whatever, so that you can tackle something bigger later on, like boot camp or something. So maybe that was it. I hope so, because that would be awesome. Okay. North Node in Leo is in positive flow as well. But it's with this Venus. Okay, let's turn those over. Venus in Aries in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams is, we have 7 of Wands reversed. So I love this for you. I feel like this is saying, I could be wrong. Because with that 9 of Swords and that ruminating or whatever, that's taking into account a lot of information. What's being said about us, especially with this petty fighting card, you know, and ruminating on it, and they said a mean thing, oh no, and that's your wound, okay? Something like that. And then you get Venus with, in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams, you got 7 of Wands reversed. And typically I see this as like standing your ground and whatever, but I immediately got with that, like, letting your guard down, not being afraid to fight. Like, excuse me? Oh, you want to come in here and talk to me like that? Let's go. Let's do it. I love this for you. I believe that's what it is. Let me see. what this Mercury is. Four of Wands reversed. So something's threatening the stability of something that you desire, something that you want. And that's exactly what I see you doing. This is putting down your guard and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, which I think is terrifying for all air signs. But you're doing it. And it's leading you to this brand new, awesome beginning in career. So let's look over here because it's in positive flow with North Node, which is exactly what you should be doing. Hell yeah. Boom. So something about all the hardship that you went through in a relationship about a month ago. It feels resolved, but then you got Four of Wands reversed here. So that could very well be resurrected. I'm not feeling that though. I'm feeling an energy of you not liking or wanting to rock boats, to have arguments. And you had a doozy a month or two ago in a partnership. And then it's like someone else pulls the same shit. But it's not the same person, I don't think. And we'll definitely clarify it. But it's like you get a round two, and now you're prepared. Instead of going, no, blocking it. You're like, what? Excuse me? What now? What was that? I like it. It's awesome. In your... Oh, right. He's in here too. Uranus. We've got the Moon and the King of Wands. Well, and they're both upright. Okay. So you're getting some sudden, unexpected secret revealing from this King of Wands here. King of Wands is passionate. For me, they're usually a boss, an authority figure of some sort. And Uranus's energy, especially in Aries, is sudden, unexpected. Like, what? Out of the blue. Shh, no. Out of the blue. Energy. So they're upright. And they got some secrets to share, it looks like. Or you can have like a psychic connection to them. I'm a little concerned there's something going on with if you're married. If you are married, I'm not seeing cheating or anything. It almost feels like someone brings you some information. And with that Four of Wands reversed, that you're no longer feeling like you need to defend your marriage. Now that could be good in that it's none of your business, so don't worry about it, whatever they tell you, which is good. But it's important, you can tell. A lot of major arcana in here, a lot of life-changing stuff. Okay. South Node, what are we supposed to be getting away from in Aquarius? Seven of Pentacles reversed. There's a very definite energy in your readings lately of it. You can no longer, you can't sit back and be comfortable. You just cannot. Most especially when it comes to marriage and career, or partnership and career, or communication, career and partnership. It's all connected for you. Things that you've been putting on the back burner, it's not going to let you do it anymore. You cannot in any of those areas. So I feel like what it's telling you is you are not going to get peace and tranquility that you want in the next couple of months. And I feel like you probably haven't had it, going through a lot of change. Why? because you need to be stronger in the way you communicate. And I've always felt this for you guys because you have something very important to share. It's coming. It's not here just yet. But don't you worry. You guys are going to be getting North Node, or excuse me, South Node. Wait. Right. So, I think I have something juxtaposed here. Hold on. I'm confusing my own self. Sorry. Of course that's all right. Yeah. Okay, sorry. It doesn't matter. Okay. So anyway, the North Node right now, being in your third house of communication and needing to be a leader in the way that you're communicating throughout this year until about fall, when it moves into your second house of value and worth and money making potential, somehow these tools are going to segue into that, okay? And then the following year, it's all you. All you. So this is laying some extremely important groundwork for both you and Sagittarius, your opposite sign. So know that. This is like a laying groundwork year for you guys. Pluto wants you to transform. Okay. Very nice. So it's saying there's a definite manipulator in your midst here. You have the Magician reversed and Two of Cups. So what it wants to teach you is, first of all, your ideas about how it is you're going to agree with people emotionally is probably a little naive. You know, this is having that mindset of, well, so-and-so told me this, so why would it not be true? It's like a willful, you know, if I'm just nice, then people will reflect back at me and be nice, despite evidence to the contrary that can be seen all around you at all times. People don't always tell the truth. And it doesn't mean you need to walk around all suspicious and whatever, but what this is telling me, this combo, is that you need to get a whole lot better at spotting this guy. Magician in the upright makes shit happen. It's a manipulation. Is it not a manipulation when you're at work and you devise your day to get the most done in least amount of time? It's a manipulation. You're manipulating time and circumstances and work to suit you. When it's in the upright, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a skill. Like we all have it. You know, but we see manipulating as a bad thing because when that asshole is reversed, woo, it's using the power of manipulation in a way that is very underhanded and very sneaky and untoward. Okay, it's Machiavellian, that kind of energy. So this is not someone that is capable of this because they're not interested in it. Know your opponent, who you're talking to, know your surroundings, know when you see this guy. When you're good at doing this, people who can read people and know, like, pretty quickly, am I dealing with this guy or this guy? And know when you're dealing with this guy, he ain't gonna be your friend. You are not no amount of charm on your part or kindness or anything is going to do that. No way. Because he likes being in the reverse. He digs it. Because he can use light and dark, whereas in the upright, he can only use light. And what is this month going to teach you with Saturn? How to handle disappointments, okay? How to, I feel like this is almost you, like being let down and grieving this idiot. It doesn't have to be a sad thing. If people want to do this, if this is their energy, go to it. It's their life. To suffer in your heart over other people's choices, what is wasted energy? First of all, their choices are chosen, right? Nothing you can do about it now. So it's wasted in that way. That's more getting your feelings hurt type thing, or drinking your sorrows away or whatever. I knew it would be something like this. Like one that sounds bad, but is going to be very good. You're training for some sort of weird communication marathon. Think of that. Every time you feel like this, I cannot believe that Billy at the office is capable of these types of behaviors and like really just sweating it. Who the fuck cares what Billy's doing? Don't worry about it. Billy can do whatever he wants. Stay in your business. It's kind of the message here. Stay in your strength. Don't worry about Billy. Worry about you. So imagine every time a Billy, sticks it to you with hurting your feelings, or because that's what I'm getting here. It's bringing up some old wounds of feelings hurt, things to be ruminated on. This is highly suggestive of some deep wound from your past having to do, I'll just say it, I'm sorry, it's not, this is deep. It's not, this is like having a wildly verbally abusive parent. Told you how ugly you were every day of your life and threatened and scared you, just a real mean fucker. And so you would just be anxious and scared, and you knew if they said one thing, then, oh God, you were going to have a bad day. And it created a lot of anxiety. And so now you're in an environment where your partner's doing that, and you're anxious again. And now work is going to do it. And the idea is you got to face the beast, acknowledge every one of those 9 swords, every one of them, and have compassion for yourself, because the 9 of swords also is reminiscent of that energy of being hard on yourself. That you shouldn't this or you shouldn't that, just that monkey mind machine thing. This is facing it, that the way out of all of this is not to drink your sorrows away or get all bummed out and let it completely affect your life, but to go deeper and acknowledge every last one of those 9 swords and be like, of course my feelings get hurt. Of course, because I had that bad thing that has really shaped my life, and go in there and have compassion for yourself. That's it. That's all you have to do. Be like, of course I felt that way, but I'm not there anymore. I'm here today. I'm here now. I'm at this job. I can handle what anybody says to me. Nobody's capable of putting 9 swords above my head, causing me all this anxiety anymore, because I control me. Not Billy. No. Okay. Aw. What are you doing? What are you doing? She's so cute. All right. I want to know, reading's very clear. I won't be doing a ton of extras here because that's what it's all about. It's time to heal yourself of perceived slights or outright slights, taking them into your spirit, into your soul as some giant wound, hurt, when really the hurt is from a very long time ago. And when you can heal that, you are going to get some amazing results at work, first of all. And this is the pinnacle of your chart, Pisces is. It's the top. So you're shining at the top here with a brand new beginning. And it's passionate, it's creative, it's exciting, and it's awesome. And fire, which is down here in strength in your third house with North Node. Spot on. Wow. Wow. So I was honed in on this sun in Pisces with being represented by this Ace of Wands. There's you, boo. Speaking your fucking truth, okay? You are facing it head on. I love it for you. I want to know what's this situation that's caught this Four of Swords reversed and the Chariot reversed. Like, what's made you go, what? Whoa, hello. Some sort of fight that's, see, you keep getting this. Some sort of fight that's over, or you've already fought, This has an air of like, oh, I thought that was done. Whoopsie, nope, back for more. Show me this Nine of Swords for Chiron with your wound. What's that all about? What's all this anxiety from? Chiron readings are always hard for me because I feel them really strong. Oh. I feel your wound. I didn't know these were going to be so deep. But we're going to finish it, okay? This wound. This is, you're sleeping every night with one of those swords your whole life. Those are your wounds, okay? They're done now, but they're still with you, aren't they? And so I was looking at it like, what's the wound? It's a wound from a long time ago. Something that happened to you that was very shocking. And no one would help you. No one would come to your rescue. And you were hurt. And the only way that you knew to cope at that time was to, this is like turning off. Like you didn't really have a choice at this time of your life. So when that thing happened, and this is Five of Pentacles. When that thing happened, I mean, you can read it both ways. It kind of reads, this would be the past. Horrible situation. Nobody would save you. Felt abandoned. Could have been by your parents, could have been your parents doing that, and no one would help you. Or your parents didn't do shit for you. It feels like a shocking thing though. And what those experiences are meant to do for us in our youth is to connect us to our deepest psychic knowing, if that makes sense. Which is difficult and it's hard. It's hard energy to possess. But possess it you must, right? And so now you're not there anymore. You're not abandoned anymore. The tower is not, it's reminiscent. But you're turning your back. You've turned your back on whatever experiences you had, okay? Each one of those swords that left you shocked and miserable in your youth, but extremely intuitive and psychically connected. This is a nighttime activity. This is not diving deep in therapy and all that stuff. It's keeping it to yourself and ruminating on it all the time, which is turning your back on what it was to bring you in the first place, okay? I'm sorry if that's too deep and sad, but that's what it's telling you. You're not there anymore. And it is time to tap into this High Priestess energy, which is very powerful energy. She is the mother of all psychics. She is spiritually connected in the highest way. It is not going to let you not do this. So you are well advised to heal yourself. And the way to do that is to turn around. Okay? This is small time energy over here. This is a big deal. Okay? Worrying about low vibration things, about what people say or don't say or whatever. What this is going to bring you and teach you and show you, and I hope you receive it with a lot of gratitude, because it's a big lesson. But important. You guys have your pinnacle is Pisces. You have a spiritual mission, a compassionate mission. Start with the compassion for yourself, is what this is telling me. And if you choose not to do that, Mars is going into that 8th house next. I would not invite the bad side of that into my life. That is violence, okay? The more you turn your back on what is meant for you and what you are supposed to be doing, this is how the universe hears it, or God, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. When you say, you know what? I know for a fact that people don't always agree. I know for a fact that not everybody is nice. You know how I know it for a fact? Because I've experienced some harsh, nasty shit. I said it. So there. So I know that not to be true. I'm going to pretend I don't know that because I like that story. It is time to face your story. And why do you like that story? Because it's a much, much nicer story than that, isn't it? And when you spiritually grow and evolve, what you're able to say is, I can turn around and know that if this is all true. People do shitty things to people. unbelievably horrible things to people all the time. That is true. Okay? That's indisputable. It is true that there are extreme manipulators in the world who are out there for their own gain. Totally true. Also true that people are out there using their powers of manipulation in a very positive way. It is true that lots of people see eye to eye and are kind and have a positive emotional exchange. It's also true that that doesn't happen a lot of the time. It is true that people don't give a shit enough to help children and young people in trouble. But it's also true that there are people who do. She knows all that. And the hardest part of spiritually evolving and evolution and all, and waking up and all of that stuff, is to say, not only is it all true, it's all okay. Why? Because it has to be. What are you gonna? It has to be, because it's not for you to say or not say, right? Are you abusing children? No? Okay. Are you going to go rescue them? Are you going to do something about this? Is that going to fit into your life right now? If so, great, go do it. If not, you have to put it down. Okay? That is what this energy is. So it's bringing out some very painful wounds, whatever is happening here. But I'll tell you what, I'm not sad for you. I'm not, and I'll tell you why, because that is amazing right there. That is amazing. That is a passionate new beginning in your truth. Because, my friend, this crap and the Magician, this is a story. This is a moment in time. It's not the truth of the universe. That is, in your universe. Some serious spiritual growth here. Wow. I would say I'm going to pull one on this sixth house. I'm way more interested in that now. Sixth house, while it's day-to-day living, I am chills abound. Sixth house, while it's newbie, you get, day-to-day, your service to the world, your job, it's your day-to-day shit. It is also the opposite to the 12th house. On a most evolved level, it's daily spiritual service. Like, for real. It's like deep. So maybe that's what you're working on and it's going to bring you. But I hope that's what it is, because that would be amazing. If we pull a spiritual card, I'm going to start crying, because it's going to be so fucking beautiful. Jupiter, and it's in Scorpio, which is intense. It's very Scorpion. There. Sorry. I was getting a little messy. Okay. So, the original cards, Ten of Cups, is wish fulfillment. It's also completion. And 50% of the time for me, this is a bullshit card. This is like, whatever. Because this is silly. This is a silly story. If you think about it, like Ten of Wands, do we look at that and go, oh my God, he got his passion fulfillment. He has so much passion and he's happy about it? No. It's a fucking burden. Okay? Like, you can't carry that much fire on your back. That's how I see Ten of Cups. It's a burden. It's a burden of an emotional story, because nobody has 10 cups. 10 of Pentacles. I don't see that as it's a good card, but a lot of times it's tied up in legacy. It's the heaviness of the past beating down on you financially and legacy-wise. So, you get my drift. And Ten of Swords, we all know what that means. None of them are good. So I don't know why we all go, oh, yay, wish fulfillment. Every once in a while. It's a dream come true, but man, how often does that happen? It's rare for me. Usually I'm like, it's pie in the sky. So I think what you're doing is wrapping up that vision and coming up with a new vision for yourself in day-to-day life where you're learning a new way. So that's how I see it. So I was meditating on that when I pulled these. So you're going to be learning something. You're going to be pondering something. Hangman's ruled by Pisces, okay? Your pinnacle. This is that card. So this is being in suspension. I'm feeling like in a thoughtful, spiritual way on how it is you're going to learn a new day-to-day situation. And this is Page of Pentacles, news of money. Something you're going to get news of something that's going to increase your options with this Seven of Cups, but it's in the preliminary stages right now. So I don't know if you're going to come up with some daily practice spiritually that's going to segue into your daily work or bringing spirituality into it. Or you've given up some dream that was unrealistic and working on something new, and you're meditating on it, not ruminating. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's you know, maybe you, yeah, I don't know why I think this. Maybe you got money for a grant or something and you're gonna, you know, it's just like, okay, how can I best, most spiritually, in the best way, do as much good as possible with this new thing. So that's a possibility. It's good. The more important message here is with that, I'm going to pull one more and then we're going to be done, is to help face that wound, that Nine of Swords. I'm going to pull one more on that Mars. Why do we have Five of Wands reverse signified by Mars swearing over to that? Ooh, there he is again. I don't know who this King of Wands is. He's all over the place for you. He's someone's turning their back on a marriage, on a tradition, on something. And there's regret, or you don't like it. I suspect this will bring up feelings of abandonment, whatever you and your partner have just gone through. So they're turning their back on convention somehow, but they're, you know, he's up right over there in your 11th house. And being honest and revealing things, whereas before there was a regret. I'm not finding this to be the most important piece, only in that it triggered you for the first time, and you're going to get time number 2 in March into April. Remember, the way out. You have what you need. You do. You absolutely can handle this. It's going to be a very internal process. So your reaction to what's going on here is going to feel very out of proportion to what's happening, and it probably is. Don't worry about it. Investigate it, heal it, get in there. This is all for you so that you can start reaping the benefits of going through this crap, which it tells me you're up for it. You can do it. You can do it. Gemini, you guys are awesome. You guys